Welcome to Get on the Ark. For those that don't know who we are, this is a show about how God is doing extraordinary and miraculous things in ordinary people's lives. There's a storm coming, a spiritual storm with dark days ahead for all of humanity. And just as God warned Noah to build an ark to save his family from the coming flood, all across the globe, God is calling his people out of the darkness and complacency and into a relationship with Jesus to save us from the storm that is coming in our generation. So welcome to Get on the Ark. And it's an honor for me to have John Baxter, my brother. And I love how God divinely connects people. And he divinely connected us at all places, a tanning salon from Gus. You remember?
Yeah. And there was a lot of connection before that because I was trying to find Darren, and through our mutual connection, who is a Christian, he basically connected us. And I was like, Gus asked me, he goes, you need anything at all, Baxter? And I was like, well, there's this guy I've been trying to meet. His name is Darren. He lives in Jacksonville. And he was like, Darren Conrad? And I was like, Darren Conrad. I was like, it was that insane because it was like, how many Darrens live in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
And he says, Darren Conrad? He goes to my tanning salon. We live right off the beach, And I just thought that was just it wasn't a coincidence because I was like, the only other person I know is Gus, and then we know a mutual friend.
Yeah.
So
that was crazy, because Gus, I didn't even really know Gus. He just came up to me one day. I think he's in his late 60s or early 70s, long hair, built like a bodybuilder, like ripped. And he's got the torn up t-shirt, purple t-shirt that says I love Jesus on it. And
he looks like Ultimate Warrior. He's like 70, built like Ultimate Warrior, and he talks like a WWE guy.
Yeah. Well, and we connected. He gave me his phone number, and then like a month later, he's like, "I got someone you got to meet." And I'm like, "Okay." And that was how the start of it. But tell us a little bit about your history, because I know you were an athlete at University of Indiana, and that was kind of what, through an injury, that inspired your journey through healing, right?
Yeah, so I just love sports, and I was a wrestler. I did Greco-Roman freestyle and school wrestling, and part of an AAU Greco-Roman state championship match. I ended up having it was, how in some matches the ref gets out of hand, like he doesn't call anything. It was an extremely rough match. It would be equivalent to like a straight fight brawl that the ref was not caring. I actually injured my neck. I broke my neck on my own move because I threw a guy really hard to the mat, which Greco-Roman means someone's gonna get thrown, like a judo match. And I did that, and I got up, and my hands didn't work anymore. And it was a scary moment because I got back on top in what you guys know as just a wrestling match. And my hands wouldn't even squeeze. So I was like, whoa, something's really bad. I can't do that. If you always knew how to do that and you couldn't do that anymore. And I had a lot of students. I had 80 students. So I taught middle school wrestling in inner city school. At that time, and basically all my students were watching me and everything else. So I didn't give up. I still won the match, but that move I got 5 points, which is the ultimate point throw. But the thing is, the whole match went on. It was 1 5-minute match, no breaks, no nothing. Get back up, go over there. Coach said just stay in there. So I stayed in there, and with a couple seconds left, I pulled it out with another throw. But it was he got stitches on it. But over his eye, it was really crazy. But I actually won the last match like a Jean-Claude Van Damme moment. Like, have you ever watched that Kumite where he got the powder in the eyes?
Yeah.
had that situation and won this, what was it, 2000 Greco-Roman state championship with a broken neck. So that was just God's way of opening one door and closing that door, because I look at some of my friends at wrestling and I love the sport, but it wasn't like a lifetime career, even though I loved it that much. And so that door shut, and it opened up my whole door to the mattress industry. So that was the door that just said, this is what I'm supposed to do. That was what I was supposed to do then. This is what I'm supposed to do now.
Wow. So what year was it you came into the mattress industry?
It was around like 2001.
Okay.
2002, something like this.
Wow. That's about the same time, I came into it around 2000, but that same period. And it wasn't anything I picked. God put it and gave it to me. Like I was like, all things, it's the last thing I would ever pick was mattresses, but it was all from God. And of course that's what started this journey. And it's interesting how our journeys, eventually come together. And so when you got somehow brought into Mattress by Appointment, but prior to that, didn't you help create the first Sleep Number or the
Well, I helped create the first project was zero gravity. People know about zero gravity position. And so I was more in the tech side of it. I was a chief marketing officer for a company called Comfort Air. Mm-hmm. Comfort Air was the original kind of like Sleep Number bed at that time. But what happened was, during that the era, was like the zero gravity position. My mentors was part of an adjustable bed group. They sold the first adjustable bed in 1960. So we already had a high understanding of the adjustable bed side of the thing. And before anyone even called it a zero gravity position on the adjustable bed, my mentor, because of his age and his tenure in the industry, he was the guy that coined that position. So we created that. We created the science behind why you want to sleep in the zero gravity position. We even started a company called Zero Gravity Bed. And then that was like, yay, I broke my neck and I did something, I helped put the sleep position together, and it didn't help heal me all the way, but it did significantly helped a lot. Wow. For recovery, right?
So Comfort Air, that was with Park Place, right?
Park Place, yeah, they owned Comfort Air. They had a 100-year tenure in the mattress industry. And so yeah, those older boys, I know them, and that was like a third generation mattress manufacturer, family owned out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, John, and David.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy, John, and David. They're three brothers own this huge mattress company. I was there as eventually the chief marketing officer, essentially director of marketing of that mattress brand, which was the original, per se, company that first created the adjustable air bed system with numerical remotes.
Right.
So it was a difficult sell for most people, because most people in the mattress industry just sell a mattress. Well, at that time, that took like a lot of energy. You had to train the people to talk about why you want to do this and an adjustable bed instead of why you just want a regular mattress. So that's why I can do what I do today so well. I took something that most salespeople in the industry was like stayed away from, but we actually helped pioneer this long endeavor and long talk of why you want to sleep in zero gravity, why you want an air chamber that you can adjust. And so, yeah, it was, I remember those days. Some of the days weren't my greatest, but some of the days were just, it was just fun and enjoying the new side of things,
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the transition. So you have a company, it's called Anti-Aging Bed. And you also have Baxter Industries, and there's several other companies that you've patented some stuff and some incredible products. And tell us a little bit about the transition from there to when you started Anti-Aging Bed, and tell us a little bit about the products and the the technology?
So yeah, I had a situation where like the second largest medical mattress company, another mattress company, and another individual, they all tore me apart like a Wolverine, like a pack of wild dogs. I was out there touting like how we created and changed this industry. Next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, that's that guy. We'll put him on the front lines. We'll just eat him. We'll eat him for dinner." Basically, they shredded me apart and just stole everything. So I gotta tell you that, because like that was portion of how I got here. It was like, so you're telling me the guy that's fighting on the front lines, doing everything, making everything work, gets shot in the back by the people that basically don't know anything, to steal like what was considered very valuable, like the what is that, the movie The Lord of the Rings, the guy with the ring. Yeah. He doesn't know how to do anything. He just knows how to steal the ring, right? It's just like, so as an inventor, what you realize is like, as a guy that's a cutting edge marketing like yourself, that, man, that's some of the most dangerous stuff, because when you're a creator and you create, then there's a lot of people that don't know that skill. They just know how to take and manage. They don't know how to create something, right? That's where I think we are so in line, Darren. We're like the creators out of a sea of people that are just takers.
Right.
And so they see a nice person that has the ability to flip a coin and make gold happen, but they don't see what it took or how it took. They just, they think very thing. So my passion was, I'm going to do something massive. Like once this happened to me, I was like, look, you can take everything from me. I don't care, but you can't take me. So the reality is, I'm going to create something that's going to topple my future career as whatever they think I am. And I created the first FDA cleared mattress in our industry. I created the first product with proven health benefits in the mattress, grounding and far infrared. I was the first guy to do it. I was the first guy to put far infrared that was FDA approved in the mattress and create the first FDA cleared mattress. And since, I created a lot of technologies, hundreds of technologies. And the main thing that I created, though, was my patents and grounding. So I created the only in current patented grounding technology. No one's even close. They don't even know what it means or is. You'll see some grounding sheets, but those are Chinese. They never work. So I have a USA made product. America first, everyone. Remember, America first. Amen. Stop the insanity. You want to kill our society, or you want to make our kids happy and create a better future. You go American first. You build a product here. You take the hits. If it costs more, who cares? It's jobs for Americans. In the end, the consumer wins anyway. So basically, I have a USA-made product, USA patents. The best stuff comes from the United States, from the Model T car to the airplane to the AI. It all comes from America, because why? We have the freedom to do what's right, and there will be a lot of people that hate you or block you. But you just have to continue. When I created these grounding patents, it was changing people's lives overnight. We went viral 2 times globally, and as a small entrepreneur business owner, that was a massive undertaking. We changed so many people's lives with the grounding tech because it shielded them from EMFs, fake lighting, inflammation, bad food. You simply ground on the product, and it discharges your voltage. We are bioelectrical beings. That's how God created us. And that's how we have senses. Our nervous system is more of like a fiber optic highway that's built on electricity. We're actually more electricity than we are water. And so the grounding technology was just massive, because not only did we create that, it made a whole industry. It literally created an entire industry, because I didn't know. God was just saying, go that direction. Do not look at the scoreboard, because if you do, you'll be caught in some other mess. Just put your head down, Keep running as fast as you can. You can look up after many years and see where you're at. So that's what I did. And I didn't, the thing is that's what I did. All I knew is that I wanted to create this futuristic health science. And little did I know it created a whole new category of healthcare. So it was just like, whoa, like, just the dedication, passion, and purpose, leads into 100 different technologies after this first patent. So now we figured out that we created the future of frequency medicine, which you have to have grounding. It's just like our electrical grid. If you see a plug with 3 prongs, you ask yourself, what's the significance of that? It's like the whole significance, guys. It's like there is no electrical grid. You think it's so easy just to plug into the wall and you have electricity? Well, the guy that put it together, he couldn't do it without having a ground wire. Without a ground wire, every building is on fire. The ground wire keeps the electricity discharged to the earth. And guess what? In frequency medicine, who the people never really had a great answer for, it was our bed cover, our grounding technology in a wellness hospital scenario to make frequency medicine safe and complete. Same thing happened with our electrical grid. You need grounding to make it safe and complete to use electricity. Our body's electric. We need grounding and frequency medicine as the medicine cabinet of the future of healthcare, the future of medicine. Today we scan the body. This whole big pharma scenario. We're not competitors. We're integrating with the current system, and people probably may like us more than this current system of writing a prescription. But this futuristic system with our AI, which some people, let me explain it. AI can be scary, but AI in ours is not. It's just a tool. We use tools every day, and we treat AI as a tool. And we have our own AI we created based on holistic health. But anyways, we're able to see the body as frequency, and so no longer do we have to wait. This is a race. Healthcare is a race, guys. From the time you find out you're sick to the time you get better. It's a race, just like the Indy 500, just like the Daytona 500. Healthcare is a race because once you realize that the sick care system is putting you in the pit stops, not allowing you to race anymore, you'll realize that what we put together is the race for health. From the time you find out something's wrong with you until the time you resolve the issue. I see it as a race. I don't have any issue with trying to help someone get better faster. But the current system, there's no fiduciary responsibility. It's just to keep your heartbeat pumping so that they can charge you extra money. That is the game today.
And your website's antiagingbed.com, correct?
That's correct.
And your staple product is a bed cover, so it goes on any mattress, right?
Yeah, our staple product that people know about us is a grounding cover that fits around your current mattress.
Yeah, and I've used it, so I love it. It's great. It's really easy to use. But it comes in all sizes and it'll fit on any mattress, king, queen, full, or whatever you have, correct?
That's correct. We even have split top king. We even have split king. So yeah.
And it grounds you. And the infrared, the far infrared, what's that do for your body?
Well, it's on the frequency spectrum. It offers the red light therapy that you hear about. This is basically a mineral. It's a ceramic which uses tourmaline, which is the most prominent crystal that when you heat it, it sends this waveform called far infrared. And so it's not the far infrared red light where you'll be sweating. It's a very, I would say, complementary far infrared, where against your body, you're enhancing your circulation and you're enhancing the ability for you to discharge toxins. And the main thing is to get faster recovery. So it's a complementary to the grounding, and that's why we coined it anti-aging bed, because the between the grounding and the far infrared, those two combined is very much an anti-aging product. In fact, if you ask AI, what is the most powerful anti-aging technology in the world, even the AI says grounding. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, so along your journey of building these companies and building these products, is there any significant moments where you could see where God had an impact or did something in your journey?
I would say multiple times, right? I'm only here because God allowed me to be here. It sounds, for some of us, it may sound crazy, but the reality is, like, I can't even, I'm court ordered not even to speak. So I've had massive, massive wins that no one can know about. It's unfortunate. It pains me to tell you that because I want to tell you, like, what happened, but just say that I was on the great side of things, and people that have another agenda will attack you if you do good. Evil only attacks good. Evil
Right.
doesn't attack evil because they're on the same team. It only attacks good. So, in my tenure, there was so many situations where I had to just hang in there when there was no one else to help me. And so the scenario is, I had a massive win that I can't tell you about, and God was the reason why I won it. There's
Wow.
been multiple times like this, and even to find my spirituality, because honestly, to even understand that, it's just like, well, how do you know you're a true Christian? Well, something has to happen a lot of times, and you have to witness it. No one else has to witness it, but you have to witness it. And
Right.
when you witness it, it's just one of those things where you just know. And because you just know, it's just like, I can tell everyone, they might think I'm crazy, but I had a scenario where I had a personal epiphany with God, and I'm doing exactly what I was envisioned to do. So the scenario is that, the because of this, there's so many scenarios where that, like, even getting the product out or even being where I'm at today. I was the most retweeted Donald Trump fan in 2014, 2015, before he was president.
Wow.
So yeah, this little things like this, and like, I looked for guidance. I looked for the best mentors, and I feel like it's no coincidence that we met, even that level of, there's just no explanation, right? There's just a sea of like 360 million people, Darren. And then I asked one guy, random guy, and he knows you. And then we know each other even further back than that. But like, I knew you further back than that. We probably just met each other like through a Zoom or something, like in 2010 or something.
Yeah.
And even today. So, it's just like, it's so interesting.
Well, it's like the one Gus, introducing us, and then I was in Washington D.C. where the group was going one way, and I God told me to go the other way. I go the other way, and this woman comes up to me and starts talking to me and tells me I need to meet you, and I have no idea who this woman is. And I had just been texting you 3 days prior saying, "Hey, I'm on my road trip, but we'll catch up when I get back." And then when we did, and I don't know if you know this about Nathan Harvey, but when I was 19 years old, I lived with Nathan, and I was lost. I, drank. I was a partier, and he was, a pure Christian, evangelist, just this just a genuinely good guy. And I wasn't very kind to him back then. And, you know, 33 years later, you invite me to go on your first incentive trip, and the travel agent that put that together was Nathan Harvey, from, someone from when I was 19 years old that I reconnected with and got to make amends and, kind of there's a big spiritual moment on that trip, by the way, whether you know that or not, with Nathan, and just that whole journey with Kerry Kasem and Charlie Ward and Diane Kaiser and Lauren, and that group. It was like a small, intimate group, but it was just so powerful.
It truly was. It was a unique group of power hitters together in, what was it, Tulum area. Yeah. And I mean, it was coming together, and with a plan to go change the world. Really, it was just like that group of people.
Yeah. So tell us what's next. What's the future? What are we doing now? I know you go beyond just mattresses. So talk a little bit about that, and then what's next?
Mattress was my springboard. It was a springboard to play with the big boys, right? Because really, when you think of mattress, there's some big players. The average mattress company is like $100 million. So, if you're not a whale, you can't go to that fight with a pocket knife. It's just out to get you and swallow you up, because it's a big boy game, in the sense that, there's some big players out there. And so it gave me a springboard to realize, a lot of different things about business and the entrepreneurial spirit, and the little things and the big things, and the management, and the different stuff, the marketing, so I learned a lot of great stuff from this industry. But it wasn't my full passion. It was more along the lines, it was in line with my passions. But I think it was in 2019, right before COVID, I had spent already 6 years creating this product before launching, got the trademarks, the patents, and it took forever to create the product that never, we created the first stretchable conductive fabric. It's still, no one else has ever done it on a scale where you could, redo it. So the future, I believe, is in wellness and telemed, and in the sense that, no one's coming to save you. The thing is that's the truth that I had to witness. And there's so many people saying the same thing now. It's like, well, I don't think anyone's coming to save me. Essentially, I must spend this much amount of money each week on these types of things. And I was going back to what I said was my epiphany, that that naturally I'm a healer. I know deep down in my core, people say that doesn't sound right, but deep down, when I realized who I was just a healer. And they're like, oh, that just doesn't fit with a lot of people. That I healed myself. I mean, in a sense, yeah. How could someone do that with a broken neck without surgery? So, the thing is, the reality is, the current scenario of the state of affairs of the world is that, a lot of people are living with the chronic disease. My goal is to just try to help end the human suffering. So the reality is it's a simple concept, but it's not easy to do. But with the health technology, we created this advanced kind of wellness center type of amount of technologies, that we created a futuristic healthcare based on electrical body. And it's very advanced. It's got the AI. It's got all this stuff. And from grounding, so you can do this all on your own. You can rely on your data. You can rely on knowing what the real problem is. You can rely on having real solutions. You could do this in the comfort of your own home. And so no longer are the days where, you just have to get a mandate, force situation that's not even FDA approved. So when you hear people say, is it FDA approved? It's like, was the mandate snake bite? Was that FDA approved? No. I was like, okay, how much do you really know then? Tell me how much you really know about this world. You don't know much. If you would send us to the slaughter, that's how much you know. So the reality is like, with all the current events in the world, what people are seeking for, they're seeking for is like what every religion wants. It doesn't matter what your religion is. No one, like everyone believes that healing and ending suffering from your fellow citizens and friends and family is a worthwhile cause. So that's the goal, and how we get there is another thing, but that's what we're fighting for, pushing for.
All right. What's give me a closing message to someone out there that's seeking, looking, or just your closing thoughts.
Yeah, so the thing is like with people all around the world that are dealing with a health issue per se. If you want to get to what we call the root physiological issue, we'd offer a free scan and a free demonstration, $0. If we can't prove to you what your problem is and how to solve it, well, we still don't charge. If you find something, we show you something, we do offer products. We do sell products, but an average stay is around 2 to 5 hours here. And we'll show you everything. We'll unlock the codes. We'll show you what is going on very quickly. There's no reason to wait 2 weeks for a blood test. Electrical frequency medicine gives it to you in 5 minutes. So we can help people immediately and show you solutions that are in every single budget. And basically, if you know, and we educate and inform the public about this stuff, we do these stuff for free. It still costs us money to do it. But the reality is I've been that blessed. So you're looking at the guy that's been that blessed. People fly all around the world. And they even come from people that are medical doctors. Medical doctors love me, and I'm not even a doctor. I'm an inventor. But the reality is, even when their family gets injured and is going through something, even those guys call me. So the reality is like, now who's holding who up here? Is it the guy that was self-taught but has the common sense and the structure and the science of the true reality? Or is it someone that said, hey, I went to school to repeat this knowledge from these file folders to get you to do a surgery or a prescription? Who has more truth? And if you study the body from the foundation up, you'll know when you start asking the questions. It's just like asking you shall receive. This is part of the epiphany. Part of the epiphany is asking you shall receive. So realize he made us in his image. So if you ask and you shall receive, like, give me the biggest problem. I'm looking for the biggest problems. Why? Because I'm a solutions guy. I'm not a problems guy. If you give me a problem, I've done it so many times. It doesn't matter. Chronic diseases, even 5 years ago, we have worked with so many people that now it's like, oh, you're in that category of that health issue. We've done it. We've done it over and over and over again. And so we feel very confident and comfortable showing you a protocol, a series of technologies, a path forward to not only get your life back, but to get your health back, to understand why and where and the information necessary to know why this is happening. So, as we see this future unfolding in front of us, I think people will be very happy with us because one, I call it the truth foundation. The truth foundation is like so basic and simple. Well, it's your data, and if you have data doesn't lie, right? Scoreboard doesn't lie either. You can, if you know your data, you can manage and monitor it. And if you can do that, and you have the different protocols that focus on the problem with a real world solution, you have a complete system. And if you have a complete system, we can get away from fear. How do they control everyone nowadays? They control you through fear. And if they control you through fear, I'm here to say, hey, even if you were put the the put your health into your own hands, and you understand what we understand, we actually cut through the fear, right? The fear is what stops everyone from moving and doing things they should be doing. So on the other side of our fear, and it could be just education, it could just be the acquired information that you need. On the other side of all that is everything that you want.
Amen.
So,
well, thank you, John. Thanks for getting on the ark. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, I was so happy to get on this show with you, Darren, and I'm just happy with you as a person, meeting you in so many levels. I'd love to work with you in someday or some shape or form. You're such a bright guy. You've done so much out there in the world, so much good, positive influence in so many people's lives. So many entrepreneurs have been helped by your hard work, sweat, and showing them the way. So, I'm so honored to be on the show, and just thank you as well.
Thanks, man. And don't go anywhere, but thanks for watching, and thanks for getting on the ark. If you could like and subscribe, hit the bell button so you can be notified. If John's story, touched you, and there's a couple ways you can help get involved. First, share the message with someone who you believe needs to hear it. God calls us to share the word that where we work, where we live, and where we play. So please send this out and let God do his thing. Second, you can get involved. If you feel like you've got a story that you want to share, please reach out via email, and we'd love to have you on the show. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, get on the ark.